Jerry coming to you from the Rythmia Life Advancement Center, the one and only Rythmia Life Advancement Center in Guanacaste, Costa Rica. What makes Rythmia so great? Well, 2,900 TripAdvisor reviews. Over 19,400 guests have been through the door. We're going to see our 20,000th guest this December. 97.17% of the people who go through the door report a life-changing miracle during their stay. A life-changing miracle. The best part is at the 6-month mark, these people receive another survey, and 90.22% say that this was the week that changed their life. Why is it such a powerful week? Why is it like such a hugely powerful week? Well, it's because the combination of things that occur during that week. Breath work, meditation, yoga, about 20 hours of programming, 4 nights of plant medicine, 2 nights of breath work, farm to table organic food, and more. And it all happens in this week. Because of that, who comes here? Well, we get A-listers from every walk of life, athletics, show business, music, business, and then normal people just like you and me come to this place and have this tremendous experience. A lot of the people who come here decide that they want to give their name to this place and become involved on the board of directors. Now there's 15 people on this board, but today I'm just going to highlight a couple just to give you a flavor for who sits on this board. Kelly Slater, the world's greatest surfer, the greatest surfer of all time. Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer, one of the 100 most recognizable faces in the world, is on our board of directors, comes here, loves it, and always spends time with us. Ron White, the comedian, one of the greatest comedians of our times, did a Joe Rogan podcast just about this place. Frank Biden, Joe Biden's brother, the brother of a sitting president, came and joined the Rythmia board of directors and is an active and participating member. What happens during, and there's 11 other board members, but I don't want to take the time throughout this broadcast to go through each one, but they're all important, and every week I'm going to highlight a couple. What happens at Rythmia? Well, it's our belief that, and by the way, when I say it's our belief, I want to explain something to you. 20,000 people, 80,000 ceremonial experiences, and we record data on each step of this. So we are by far and away the only medically licensed ayahuasca center in the world. We have the highest safety record of any ayahuasca center in the world. We have a full medical staff, a full holistic staff, a full shaman staff. We have 200 employees that make this whole thing occur. And what happens when you're here? Well, we believe that there's a split between your ego and your soul. And that split somehow through this program gets put back together during your week at Rythmia. And so what is the feeling tone of what that feels like? Well, listen, most people feel like just something has been off in their life. And when they get put back together, when this happens, they leave here crying, tears of joy. Like, can't believe that life could feel this good. Can't believe that they saw something that they saw. They just can't get over it, that this happens. People said, well, Jerry, what happened to you for the last 4 weeks? Where have you been? Well, I had, just so you know, I had back surgery and my back is doing great. The great thing about having back surgery, I got to spend almost a month with both of my kids in California. and I had the greatest time. Good. So what, I just had to put that in. What happens once you come back together? Well, what happened for me was I no longer wanted to be a liability to the world. I wanted to become an asset. And people call that as a becoming a beneficial presence in the planet. The high, in the high 90s of percentile of people who come and have this happen, they want to do the same thing. They want to take the rest of their life and become a beneficial presence, move off the liability side of the balance sheet onto the asset side of the balance sheet for having lived. It's a wild concept. But it happens, right? So what does that look like? Well, that journey itself is a rest of your life journey. It becomes a ceremony, very much like an ayahuasca ceremony, for the rest of your life. This is how you're going to live the rest of your whole life. And depending on how high, how much you want to achieve, how many lives you want to touch, how deeply you want to touch those lives, the higher the star, the harder the trip. But the harder the trip, the more rewarding the journey. This is all part of it. Now, these people that decide they want to do it, and it's in the high 90s of percentile, that decide they want to become a beneficial presence, and then that becomes the act of being in service to others becomes the only thing in life. It's the most, I'm not going to use the word addictive, but the easiest feeling to become accustomed to in the world. It's the most comforting feeling because it's not bliss, but it's fulfillment. It's satiation. It's satisfaction. It's this greatest way, and it's constant. So, like, it's kind of like being on, when you're on a sugar diet, you have these big spikes and valleys. But when you're on a protein-based diet or a non-processed food based diet, you have this pace of constant energy. Well, that's what fulfillment or satiation or satisfaction feels like. That, hey, I'm in this wild journey, and yet I'm constantly going forward, constantly happy, in a way, constantly fulfilled that this is where I'm at in my life, and this is what I'm going forward. And listen, I had conversation the other day with an A-list athlete, who's had the experience of being the world champion at something many, many, many times. And this feeling of being satiated by helping others is the real pearl. It's the real gem in the whole thing. I have friends that are billionaires that were let down because the promise of society and advertising and all of these things of, oh, I'm going to get a chunk of money and it's going to make me feel full. It does not happen. Now, I'm not a guy that's made fortunes, but I made $100 million. And the feeling of getting $100 million is not what you think it would be. You think that all of your problems would be solved and everything would be great and done, and actually quite the opposite happens, because just because of the nature of it. But the feeling of being satiated by helping others, and now whether you're helping them by having a family or starting a community or a church or a spiritual community or a singer, a dancer, a musician, an athlete, an actress or actor, or you design a business that helps others, that feeling is irreplaceable. It is the money shot. It is the feeling of wow. And it's constant. It's not fleeting. It's always there. And if it's not there, you go and help someone and it becomes there. Now, That's the act of giving. That's the giving side of the equation of becoming a beneficial presence. Then there's this whole other side, which is you get from it, but it's not why you do it. It's not the reason you do it. You get the energetic equivalent of what you're putting out in the form of money. You get the joy of helping others. You get people thanking you. There's all kinds of other gifts. So the one thing that I became conscious of in this whole experience is that every minute of every day, you are designing your future. You are the designer of what you're creating, and you're constantly doing it. So like, I look at folks, and I watched this Facebook thing occur where this guy had a super successful business, and and lots of people were benefiting from this guy's business, and you could tell he was having a great time being in this business. And this other person who is in a similar business, but just can't seem to attract people to him, was talking this progressive business guy down. This guy who was on his own ceremony, living his own dream, creating his own future. And the other person was just talking crap about it on the internet. And then in 4 more posts later, this guy's asking for help to move his sofa because he didn't even have enough money to move his sofa. And I thought, wow, that's indicative of what happens once you decide to be a beneficial presence of the planet. People are going to come at you and say all kinds of things, but you don't even respond. You just keep going and building and enjoying what you're doing. And that enjoyment. So both of those people, the guy who couldn't afford to move his couch and the guy that he was talking crap about, the successful person, were designing their future at the same time. This one, was creating new opportunities for himself and for the expansion of the ever increasing good he could do on the planet. And this one would spend his time talking bad, making up stories, da 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 da. So you see, you're constantly, whether you know it or not, you're constantly designing your future. So if you can stay in this space of watching and knowing, and awareness is everything. See, if you're aware that you're designing your future all the time, then you won't spend time going backwards. You won't, it would be like a guy like me talking smack about Elon Musk. So that gets me nothing. That does nothing for helping me going forward, right? Nothing. My time should be spent on how can I be of more service? How can I deliver what I'm delivering more efficiently? How can I deliver it and have a better consumer experience? Those are the things that I should be focused on, not other things. And in this process of deciding to become a beneficial presence, there's a great contract, right? And that contract is the contract you make with yourself in order to be able to give. And another thing, when I was in California, because I live in Costa Rica, I don't get a chance to go to Agape Live anymore, Agape in California, but I got a chance, and anybody who's in that area, my God, do yourself a favor and go listen to Michael Beckwith in person. And when he was talking on Sunday, and I was lucky I had Johnny Mesner with me and both of my kids and our friend Chris, and we were sitting there and we were watching, and in this, Beckwith, in this moment of brilliance, said to us, he said, consider yourself lucky that you are here to be able to give your gifts to others. Not anything about what you're going to get, but how lucky I am in order to be able to, that I was given this opportunity to give to others, right? That's the opportunity. Crazy, right? But it becomes, but in that moment, if you're constantly thinking about or aware of the fact that you are always designing your own future, then you'll stay away from lying about other people, talking badly about other people. And what you'll focus on, talking badly about yourself, lying about yourself, believing others' lies about you, what you'll focus on is, how can I do this better? How can I be more efficient? How can I help more people? How can I touch more lives? How can I do these things, right? Now that's the outpicturing of a host of agreements that you're going to make with yourself. And next week, I'm going to go back into those agreements because they're part and parcel to this turning over of a new leaf. So when people have this happen, what they do is they fall into rapture, or they fall into this feeling of gratitude that's so overwhelming for the opportunity to live and breathe and have an incarnation in this garden of a planet. They get caught in this rapture, and the next thing out of their mouth is, how can I serve? How can I repay? How can I bless back for this has been giving me? And then in that is this list of agreements that you have to make with yourself in order to turn that leaf so it doesn't get overturned again by your own actions in the future. So what you end up happening, there's this huge split that's happening in the planet, right now, and in all over the world. And it's like, it's a lot of people will classify it as the haves and have-nots and this and that and all these different things. But really what it is, there's a group of people who are trying to improve the human experience. There's a group of people in the middle who are doing nothing about it. And there's a group of people over here that are trying to kill it. Where you decide to be is part of your design of what's to come for you. So be aware of that. You're constantly designing your future. And by all means, come to Rythmia and have this thing happen to you. Be a part of us. Come here. It doesn't matter what you've gone through yesterday. It doesn't matter how many times you've lost. It doesn't matter how many times you've failed. It doesn't matter how many bad breaks you've gotten. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. All that matters is today, tomorrow, and the future. That's it. That is it. And when you do something and go out of your way to affect how you can live in this life and address your own future, you already started the process of becoming a beneficial presence on the planet. So by all means, please get here. Please come here. And it's not a question of whether you can afford to. It's a question of whether you can afford not to. Like, this is something you need to do. Anyway, until next week, God bless you, God keep you, God hold you. I'm going to see you for the next couple of weeks. Then 3 weeks from now, I go to have my back surgery looked at again, a follow-up in California. I won't be here that week. And Dr. Jeff will take over for me those weeks. But we're looking to have you here and to meet you or to see you again.